Hi guys, I want to show you a few things today from our rainforest. In your packet, I gave you guys this little activity that I want to talk about. So, if you haven't got it out, I want you to get out this little paper of all these little critters and this piece of paper that looks kind of like grass. Find those supplies because you're going to need them for this activity. We are going to talk about a bromeliad. Say, what? What's a bromeliad, right? A bromeliad is a plant that lives in the rainforest. I'm going to show you what it looks like. It's this kind of leafy plant right here, and it grows on the side of a tree. And the water from the rain runs down the tree and fills this little plant, the bromeliad, with puddles, water, for all these little creatures to live in. Look, we have a poison dart frog that we're going to talk about. Maybe some salamanders, some other little insects, all kinds of animals live inside the bromeliad. And it looks like this snake right here is trying to find his lunch. I'm going to show you another bromeliad. And I'm sorry that it's in black and white. You can't see it very good. I wish it were in color. I think it goes this way. But you see, okay, this is the tree branch, a tree trunk, right? And then the bromeliads, the plants, grow on the side of the tree. So the water runs down and fills them up and keeps them watered. Here's a little froggy inside a real bromeliad. You see that? Yeah, that's a poison dart frog that I'm going to talk about. And here's the puddle, you know, the water inside the bromeliad. Yeah. So, you are going to make your bromeliad for your vine. Okay, you know how you have your vine that you made? Okay. So, this is how you do it. You take that grass, looks like grass, okay? And if you want, you can bend them down. I just kind of scrunch them down like this, look. Whoop, whoop. There you go. You can scrunch them down or roll them down with your pencil. Okay, that's going to be like the leaves of the plant. And then you're going to glue it together so it looks like this. And then you're going to glue it onto your vine on the side of it, okay? So it looks like this, like that bromeliad sticking off your vine. And then you have all these little critters that you're going to put inside. Let's take a look at it. You have a salamander, a frog. Now you can make it a red-eyed tree frog that we've talked about, or you can make it a poison arrow frog that I'll show you in just a minute. And it looks like this one is a snail. So snails are kind of usually brown or creamy color or nature colors, not like purple or anything. Okay, so I'm going to give you some real facts about some of those animals that might live in the bromeliad. Okay, here's that poison arrow frog. Look at that bright blue. They can be bright blue, yellow, orange, rainbow colored, black and blue, black and yellow. They're very brightly colored. And here's what it says. Look at this book. It's been loved so much it's fallen apart. It says moist skin. That means if you touch their skin, it's kind of wet. Moist skin. It says most amphibians have smooth, moist skin. Mucus covers their skin. Mucus is kind of like snot. Yeah. It covers their skin. Let's see. This keeps the frog and other amphibians wet and slippery. So if you touched a frog or a salamander or the poison arrow frog, he would be wet to the touch. Old skin peels off when it becomes too small. New skin grows in its place. Some amphibians make a poison that covers their skin. The poison dart frog's poison is strong enough to kill all of its enemies. So this is kind of a cool fact too, that when the poison arrow frog is scared, he'll squeeze out, excrete some of that poison. Now, some of the people that live in the rainforest got really smart. To use that poison, here's what they did. They would make a blowgun, kind of like a straw, and then it'd have a dart. That's why they're called poison dart frogs, because what happens is some of the tribes, the people, would take their arrow, okay, and get some of that poison from the poison dart frog when he was scared, and they would take that poison, put it on the tip of their arrow, and use a blowgun and blow that dart at their animal that they're trying to kill and poison it. Yeah, it's really cool. So that's why they're called poison dart frogs, from that poison. So they're brightly colored. They could live in that bromeliad. And then I thought there was a salamander. Yeah, here's a salamander. Now somebody in our class was just talking about catching a salamander. I want to say it was Eleanor, but I'm not sure who it was. But somebody was talking about a salamander. A salamander looks kind of like a lizard, but he has wet skin. And he's an amphibian. It means he lived in water when he was a baby. And then he grew up and he lives on land and water. It says, what amphibians eat? Amphibians catch and eat other animals for food. Amphibians eat mostly worms, insects, and snails. So this is called a spotted salamander because he has those yellow spots. But he has moist skin too, and he might live inside that bromeliad. Now this guy is black and yellow, but salamanders are really brightly colored too. They can be lots of different colors. So color your salamander, color your frog, color your snail, cut them out, and glue them inside your bromeliad on the sides here, and then put it on your vine, okay? All right. The next part of our lesson is gonna go along with pie. Do you remember pie? Let's go over here. Because we're also learning about the author's purpose, why an author might write a story. And we said it's as easy as pie. Sometimes authors want to persuade us. Sometimes they want to give us information. And sometimes they want to entertain us. So far, we had a persuasive book. We had in our kapok tree book, they were trying to persuade us not to cut down the trees, remember? And then we had information when we read about real facts about monkeys and other animals. So I bet today our book is just going to simply be to entertain us, to make us laugh. And I do have a silly little book I want to share with you. You see my dog? Yeah. I'm telling you, it's always an adventure around here. All right, so I have a book. It's called Jump, Frog, Jump. And I'm going to give you a little hint. It really is just a silly book to entertain us. Okay? But you guys are going to help me with this book too. I might ask you to read some of the words with me. It says, this is a fly that climbed out of the water. You see the fly? Who eats flies? Could be lots of things, huh? This is the frog that was under the fly that climbed out of the water. So here's the fly, and he's under him. Do you see the frog? How did the frog catch the fly? What do you think? They have that long, sticky tongue, don't they? Let's see. Let's see. Jump, frog, jump. Ooh, did you see this little hint right here? Ooh, and did you see over here? Ooh. All right. So he jumped to try to catch that fly. This is the fish that swam after the frog that was under the fly that climbed out of the water. That fish is trying to catch him too. How did the frog get away? Look, he wants to get away from that fish. All right, this is where you get to help me. You say, jump, frog, jump. So it says, jump, frog, jump. Ooh, I see some more eyes over here. Do you see them? And up here, lots of animals want to eat that frog, huh? Let's see. This is a snake that dropped down from a branch that swallowed the fish that swam after the frog that was under the fly that climbed out of the water. How did the frog get away? Look at him. Oh, he looks mean, doesn't he? Ready? Jump, frog, jump. There he is. Ooh. And later on, I think next week or pretty soon, we're going to be making a snake. You might want to take a look at this guy's pattern because he would be a really cool pattern to make a snake, huh? And do you see the lily pads and the flowers on the lily pads? Jump, frog, jump. And I see an eyeball. Uh-oh. This is the turtle that slid into the pond that ate the snake that dropped down from a branch and swallowed the fish and swam after the frog that was under the fly that climbed out of the water. So I didn't know that turtles could eat a snake. Look at that. That's kind of cool. How did the frog get away? How did he get away? Ready? Jump, frog, jump. Uh-oh, I see a new danger. It's not an animal danger. What is it? Yeah, it's a net. Uh-oh. This is the net that wrapped around the turtle that slid into the pond and ate the snake that dropped down from a branch and swallowed the fish and swam after the frog that was under the fly that climbed out of the water. How did the frog get away? He wants to get away from that net. All his friends are caught. The turtle's caught. Ready? Jump, frog, jump. You better get away from that net. These are the kids who picked up the net that wrapped around the turtle that slid into the pond that ate the snake that dropped down from a branch that swallowed the fish and swam after the frog that was under the fly that climbed out of the water. How did the frog get away? You see him? The kids are going to try to catch him. Oops, I missed a page. How did he get away? Jump, frog, jump. Look, they have a basket. He's too fast for them. This is the basket that they put over the frog that was put over the frog by the kids who picked up the net that wrapped around the turtle that slid into the pond and ate the snake that dropped from the branch and swallowed the fish and that swam after the frog that was under the fly that climbed out of the water. How did the frog get away? He's under that basket. Oh no! And this says, shh. Yeah, if he jumps, he's just going to be jumping under the basket. That's not going to help him, is it? Jump, frog, jump. How did he get away? Yeah, the boy helped him escape. Good job. All right, do you see how this is just a fun little story? Yeah, now, was it persuading us to do anything? No, wasn't asking us to be on his side or to vote for anything. It wasn't for persuading us. Was it to give us any information? Did we learn any new facts in that silly story? No. So it was definitely just to entertain us, to tell us a silly story. So, on your pie, this is your last one, should be your last one. I want you to write Jump, Frog, Jump, the title of the book, right here on the entertainment. And then I want you to draw that froggy. Here's a good picture of him with his bug eyes. Yeah, you could do that. Or you could draw the snake too with that cool pattern, or the water. But you definitely have to draw something in there so I know that you read that book and you know that it's just for entertaining. And if you want, you can color around the pie crust for me too. Okay? And that's author's purpose. Sometimes when you read a book, you have to decide, why is the author telling me this story? Is it to entertain me, like Jump, Frog, Jump? Or is it like the amphibian book and you're trying to give me information and facts? You have to decide. You have to know. All right. Don't forget to make your bromeliad. Okay? And keep learning.